If you're a man who spent years, maybe decades, building a life with a woman, you tried to lead. You tried to be consistent. You tried to be loyal. You tried to keep the peace. And still, she didn't appreciate you. Or she walked away. This video is for you because a lot of good men quietly carry one heavy question. Was I actually a good man? Or was I just easy to take for granted? Let me give you clarity. Sometimes she didn't leave because you were not valuable. Sometimes she left because she did not have the maturity to recognize value until it was gone. And in this video, I'm going to give you 4 signs you were the good man all along. Not a perfect man, not a never made a mistake man, a good man. And I'll also give you one warning near the end, because many good men hear validation like this, and then they go right back into a situation that drains them. Stay with me, because sign number 3 is the one that most men underestimate, but women remember it for life. Now, let's be clear about something before we start. This is not a video to bash women. Not all women overlook good men, and not all men are good men. But if you know you showed up with real effort, real loyalty, and real intention, then you deserve to hear the truth. Let's get into it. Sign number 1. You brought peace, not chaos. A good man brings emotional safety, not drama, not confusion, not inconsistency. He brings stability. You were the man who didn't make her guess where she stood every day. You didn't disappear for attention. You didn't punish her with silence to control her. You didn't create little emotional storms just to feel powerful. You were steady. And a lot of people say they want peace, until peace feels boring to someone who is addicted to emotional intensity. So if you were the calm one, the grounded one, the one who tried to talk things through, the one who tried to solve problems instead of creating them, that is not weakness, that is leadership. And here is a truth that hurts, but it sets you free. Some people don't appreciate peace until they experience chaos again. So if she left a calm situation and later started acting confused, or nostalgic, or curious about your life, that's often not random. That's her nervous system remembering what safety felt like. If you brought peace, you were not too nice. You were rare. Sign number 2, you showed responsibility, not excuses. A good man handles life like a man. He owns his choices. When something went wrong, you didn't point fingers first. You looked at what you could do better. You tried to improve. If you were the one paying attention to the bills, planning ahead, making sure things were handled, thinking long-term, that matters. If you were the one who tried to fix what was breaking, instead of just blaming, that matters. And if you were the one who could admit when you were wrong, even when it was uncomfortable, that matters. Now, let me say this carefully. Being responsible does not mean you accept all the blame. It does not mean you apologize for things you didn't do. It does not mean you carry the entire relationship on your back. But a good man does take accountability for his part. And women feel that. Even women who don't appreciate you in the moment still feel the difference between a man who takes responsibility and a man who avoids it. If your relationship ended and later she said things like, "You were always the mature one. You actually cared. You were the only one who really tried." Those are not just emotional statements. Those are signs. Signs that your character stood out. And here's the retention point you need to hear. If you were responsible, it means you have a skill many people never build. You know how to build a stable life. And that is exactly why your value increases with age. Sign number 3. You provided protection and direction. This is the one most good men underestimate. Because when men hear protection, they think only about physical protection. But that's not the main thing. At this stage of life, protection looks like this. You protect her peace. You protect the relationship from outside interference. You protect the future with wise decisions. You protect the home from instability. A good man is not just romantic. He is reliable. He is the man who thinks ahead. He notices what could become a problem, and he handles it early. He sets boundaries with disrespect. He sets boundaries with chaos. He doesn't allow third parties to poison the relationship, and he has direction, meaning you don't just drift through life. You have standards. You have values. You have a sense of where you're going. Now here's the twist. Some women say they want a strong man, but when they finally meet one, they test him. They test his boundaries. They test his patience. They test how much he will tolerate, and good men often fail this test for one reason. They confuse love with tolerance, so listen closely. If you were the man who provided structure and she resisted it, that doesn't mean you were controlling. It may simply mean she was not ready for an adult relationship, because adult relationships require structure. They require priorities. They require decisions. They require limits. And if you were the man who brought protection and direction, you were not lucky. You were valuable. And that is why, when she comes back, she often comes back differently, not always respectful, but different, because she has already seen what a real man looks like. Sign number 4, you loved with respect, not games. A good man does not perform love. He lives it. He doesn't use jealousy as a tool. He doesn't flirt to punish. He doesn't play mind games to keep control. He respects the woman he is with. And respect looks like a lot of quiet things. You don't embarrass her. You don't expose her private business. You don't speak to her like she's beneath you. You listen. You consider her. You show basic decency even during conflict. And if you're a man over 50, there is a strong chance you value something that modern dating often lacks: dignity. You don't need to win every argument. You want peace. You want loyalty. You want teamwork. So if you were the man who loved with respect and she treated that like it was ordinary, that doesn't mean your love was ordinary. It means she was used to disrespect being packaged as passion. Now I'm going to give you the warning I promised, because this is where many good men get trapped. Warning: being a good man is not the same as being available to someone who didn't value you. This is the part where smart men separate themselves. A good man has a good heart, but a high-value good man has standards. So if she comes back, or if she starts sending those checking-in messages, or if she suddenly wants to talk after months of distance, your job is not to prove you're good again. Your job is to see if she is mature enough now to meet you where you are, because your goodness is not a bargain. Your loyalty is not something she gets to rent. Your presence is earned through respect. So here is the simple high-value mindset. You don't chase clarity, you require it. And if you want one calm sentence that protects your dignity, it's this: I'm open to a respectful conversation. What exactly are you looking for now? That's it. No anger, no begging, no speech, just standards. Now let's bring it home with a quick recap. If you brought peace, that's sign 1. If you showed responsibility, that's sign 2. If you provided protection and direction, that's sign 3. If you loved with respect, not games, that's sign 4. And if you recognize yourself in these signs, I want you to understand something. You don't need to become valuable. You need to stop questioning your value. Because the right woman does not need to be convinced that a good man is rare. She already knows, and she treats you accordingly. Now, I want to ask you a simple question. Which sign described you the most? Peace, responsibility, protection and direction, or respect? Drop the number in the comments. And if you are a good man rebuilding your confidence, your standards, and your peace, subscribe. Because on this channel, we don't beg, we don't chase, we don't hate, we move with dignity, and we let our values speak. I'll see you in the next video.